Amid the dark and eerie night, ghosts and spirits turn a desolate road into a haunted disco club. As you try to escape, death itself joins you in your car like an uninvited passenger, and the spirits trap you in their otherworldly realm. Here starts the nightmare of whispers and moans, where you are unsure if you will ever make it out alive. Want to drive further with it? Then stay with me to experience the creepiest journey ever. Last year, I was returning from California after visiting my grandparents. My car's tire went flat on the way, and I had to stop for pretty much a time at the car repair services station. When I sat back on my journey, the sun had set and the night grew dark and stormy with time. Soon, the rain started pelting down in sheets. The wind was howling through the trees, and I was driving on the deserted highway. The only light on the road was coming from my car's headlights. It was cutting the darkness like a knife. I had driven this road many times before, but something strange was there on that dark night. There was a sharp round bend ahead, and I slowed down the car and saw something that made my heart skip a beat. A beautiful young woman in a white dress was standing at the bank of the road. Her hair was long and she was really attractive, a lot more than the random beautiful girls of my city. My heart started racing, and when I reached near her, she was giving me a sign to stop. I stopped and rolled down the window and offered her a ride. I asked her where she was headed, and she told me she was just trying to get home. Her voice barely went above a whisper. Without thinking twice, I opened the back door of my car and asked her to get inside. She climbed into the car and shut the door. After a few moments, the car turned icy cold inside, and a feeling of unease settled in. I glanced over at the young woman, but she was staring straight ahead. Her eyes were fixed on the road. I turned on the heater of the car and asked her, "Is everything okay?" She ignored my voice like I was not even there. I asked her again whether she was okay or not. She started frowning and rudely said, "I'm okay." I felt like I'd offended her, so I drove in silence for the rest of the journey. The clouds became darker and it started raining heavily. There was haunting silence in the car. The only sound was the hammering of rain on the car and trees screaming in a thunderstorm. I asked the woman where she wanted to go. She told me to keep driving. When I turned back, I shivered with surprise. The white dress was gone, and the young woman sitting behind me was now dressed in black. My body started shivering with fear because I felt like I was in a trance. I mustered up the courage and asked the woman where she wanted to go. She remained silent for a while, but then she told me to pull over to the side of the road. She got out of the car and said, "Thank you for the ride." I turned to reply to her, but what I saw just scared my soul. The woman disappeared. I don't know where she went, but she just vanished into thin air with the blink of an eye. This made my blood run cold. I rubbed my eyes and tried to look again. Nothing was there again. I turned back to my car and continued my journey in the haunting memories of the young woman. But who was she? This question remained lingering in my head, and I couldn't control myself from finding who she was. So, the next day I went to the library to find out more about that mysterious woman, because I had heard that these types of stories are always linked in books. I took out the newspaper from the 1950s from the newspaper bank and came across an article that chilled my spine. It told the story of a young woman who was murdered in a fake car accident on the same stretch of road. When I followed more newspapers, I came to know that every 3 years, a man is killed on the same road in the same way as her car skidded on the wet road and crashed into the tree. The woman died instantly, but her body was never found. After reading the newspapers, my world was not the same again. I realized I had escaped death narrowly and gave up the ghost of that young, beautiful woman. Now I understand why her dress was changed white to red. I shuddered at the thought of what could have happened. After this, I vowed never to pick up a hitch again. I don't know what was wrong with me. I knew everything about her. She was a ghost, but still I was unable to get over the hangover of her beauty. My heart went crazy for her, but my mind stopped me from doing that again. She became my obsession, and I kept on thinking all day about her. Most of the time I wished that she was not dead and I could make her mine forever. I knew this was not possible, but still this wish was enclosed inside my heart like a pearl is stuck in the oyster. After a few months, I again went to meet my grandfather in California for his 75th birthday. I was returning back and took the same road again, but again something happened that pushed me into the mouth of death. It was already a cloudy day. My car's tire went flat again and there was no option left for me to change the tire and then continue my journey. It was not safe to stay amid the thick forest, so I preferred to keep going. The evening was pleasant, and I was at cloud nine without any reason. I was whistling and singing while driving on the road. What happened to me the last time was all in my mind, so I preferred to take another road to reach home. It was a bit longer, but safe. So, the night grew darker as I was driving, and soon the thunderstorm started raging with the wind that was so strong to uproot the trees. Dust was flying everywhere and it blurred my vision. The car became out of control because the window of my left door was broken, and dust came inside the car and filled my eyes. I totally forgot that the car was being driven itself. After half an hour, the thunderstorm went off and I found myself on the same haunted road again where I met that girl of my nightmares. I had never been so scared before. The headlines of articles of young men being murdered were dancing in front of my eyes, and I was able to do nothing to stop them. There was silence on the road, and the only thing I could hear was my own heartbeat. My heart was ready to come out of my ribs. I felt no courage inside me to continue the journey. However, my mind shifted towards the growling that started coming out of the woods. This was the time to continue my journey and escape that deadly forest. So I started my journey again. When I reached that steep bend, nothing was there. I was glad that the young woman is not here today and I can escape death easily, because who might know I'm in the next haul of her 3 years murderous series. So I shouted, "Yahoo!" But the last part of this Yahoo got stuck inside my throat because the woman was standing right in front of me in the same white dress. She was looking more beautiful than that day. But my entire body drowned in sweat when I got to know that she is giving me the signs to stop. My heart started pulsating again. I put my entire energy into the accelerator and speeded up the car. I passed by the girl and saw her eyes. There was something daring in them. But soon I realized I was inside the cage of death when I had my foot on the accelerator and the car was in brake mode. When I accidentally looked in the rearview mirror, the arms of that young woman became longer and they were pulling my car towards her. I tried to speed up my car, but all the efforts went in vain. Luckily, a car came from the front and the woman disappeared in the air. Without thinking further, I accelerated my car and reached home. I was not able to get out of my home for 3 days. However, when I went to the library, there was a headline in the newspaper: "A man mysteriously got killed in the haunting woods."